Hi, it's Mike Chen. In our modern era, it cannot be denied that the ancient pyramids of Giza have somewhat become the apple of mankind's eyes, not just because we revel at their distinctiveness as a tourist destination, but mainly because these ancient structures are vestiges of a once thriving civilization that boasted of its own extensive and rich history and culture. The oldest and the largest of the Egyptian pyramids found at the vast desert landscape of Giza is the Great Pyramid, believed to have been built for and by the will of the pharaoh Khufu at some point during his reign in the 26th century BC. The Great Pyramid withstood the test of time and was for a very long time the biggest building on the face of the planet up until the transition to the 20th century. Standing today at 455 feet or 138 meters, this ancient structure is considered by some to be a unique icon of Egyptian legacy and is also the last construction standing among the listed 7 wonders of the ancient world. The second pyramid is widely believed to have been commissioned by Khafre, Khufu's son, whose reign commenced around 2520 BC. The Great Sphinx Monument, which is located near Khafre's pyramid, dates around the same time as his reign, leading some scholars to believe that the human face of the large statue was carved in his likeness. The third pyramid, which is the smallest out of the 3 principal pyramids of Giza, was supposedly built to serve as the final resting place of Pharaoh Menkaure and is believed to have been constructed between 2510 and 2490 BC during his rule. The pyramid complex of Giza is regarded by many to be an impressive feat of engineering, considering mankind's knowledge about construction and technology available to the builders of the time were supposedly primitive. These pyramids were also deemed by scholars as testimonial relics of the blood, sweat, and tears of tens of thousands of laborers who worked for decades to erect these ancient structures. And these ancient buildings have continued to stand their ground for the past 4,500 years, an incomparable achievement that has gained the interest and admiration of many. Part of the fascination over these pyramids are rooted in the curiosity over who exactly built them, why and how exactly these structures were built. These questions have opened an avenue of New Age discourse in our modern era, with some going as far as to assert that the ancient pyramids of Egypt could be a remnant of a technologically advanced ancient civilization, or proof that ancient visitors of extraterrestrial origin once socially interacted with the people of Earth. Of course, talk of advanced ancient civilizations and ancient astronauts is deemed by conventional scholars to be nothing more than pseudoscientific or fantastical speculation. But those who believe that the pyramids of Giza could have been built using advanced ancient technology and could contain traces of this technology have over the years presented arguments and reasons that are just too compelling to ignore. And so here are 10 reasons why the pyramids in Giza could be evidence that Egypt's ancient civilization once possessed highly advanced technology which could be alien in origin. First of all, the size and weight of the pyramids and their materials. One of the arguments raised by those who believe the pyramids in Giza were built using advanced alien technology is the colossal size and weight of the pyramids and the materials they were built from. Building the Great Pyramid, for example, required the quarrying and transportation of 2.3 million stone blocks. Lifting each of these blocks was not exactly effortless. These stones weighed around 2.5 to 15 tons each. Archaeologists and researchers have presented theories of how the laborers of that time managed to quarry and transport these blocks from a nearby source to the site where the pyramids were intended to be built. However, some still insist that these heavy stones were nearly impossible to mine, move, and lift given the primitive tools of that era. And since it has been estimated that it took 20 years for the Great Pyramid to be completed, then it should also be noted that it would have taken the laborers only 2.5 minutes to set each of the pyramid's insanely heavy blocks, which sounds a little implausible without a bit of help from some unknown ancient technology. Number 2, the white limestone casings of the Great Pyramid. While the Great Pyramid is still a magnificent sight to behold, its current appearance today is nothing but a shadow of its former shining beauty. In the distant past, Egyptians referred to the Great Pyramid with the ancient word Iket, which when translated in the English language is equivalent to the phrase glorious light. A more apt name could not have been conceived, especially since the Great Pyramid was in the beginning shielded with casings made of white-colored and smooth limestone until a disastrous earthquake in 1303 AD led to their untimely uncoupling. Much like mirrors, these stones reflected sunlight, which made the pyramid glisten like a crystal in the middle of the desert. And what's so interesting about these reflective stone casings were not just their shape and appearance, but also the source of the material they were made of. Gathering large amounts of flat and polished limestones would have required quarrying it from a mine at the other end of the Nile River, which meant tons of these stones had to cross the long stretch of the river before they could be used to build the casings of the Great Pyramid. For some, this leads to the inevitable question of how how those who worked in the construction of the pyramid have managed to transport heavy and reflective limestone without the guidance of someone possessing sophisticated knowledge and machinery. Number 3, the elaborate tunnel system inside the pyramids of Giza. Archaeologists uncovered a secret or two hiding beneath the pyramids of Giza from time to time, and prime examples of these discoveries are the elaborate networks of tunnels hidden under the vast deserts, which were cut from limestone bedrock. There are those who have dared to explore where some of these channels led to, but these passageways and the potential rooms or compartments they may be concealing are still largely unexplored up to this day. Now you might be thinking, okay, what was the purpose of these tunnels? And until we have the chance to excavate and thoroughly investigate these pathways, there's still no definitive answer to this question. But some believe that there could be an underground city beneath the pyramids of Giza, and that this buried metropolis could be thousands of years old. Number 4, strange heat anomalies in several areas of the Great Pyramid. In 2015, an international team of scientists and architects conducted thermal scans of the pyramids in Giza. To their astonishment, they observed thermal anomalies in the pyramids and detected high-temperature heat spots in several areas of the Great Pyramid. Mainstream science raised empty chambers, internal air currents, and the use of varied construction materials as possible causes of these anomalies. However, there are those who believe that the heat spots being identified by our current technology actually comes from an advanced ancient equipment or machinery hidden beneath the pyramids. Some have even speculated that the Great Pyramid of Giza could be an antiquated spacecraft built or brought here on the planet by extraterrestrial beings, and that the heat anomalies actually indicate that the alien ship's engines are ready to ignite after receiving sufficient energy from the sun for the past few thousand years. Number 5, alignment of the Great Pyramid with true north. The position of the Great Pyramid in terms of its alignment with the location of true north is one of the more well-known reasons raised by those who believe that the Egyptian pyramids were built by a technologically superior ancient civilization. Although built thousands of years ago, the Great Pyramid is regarded by many to be the most accurately aligned structure on the planet. Yes, even more so than our modern-day Meridian building in London, with a very minimal degree of error of 3/60th. Moreover, this error is not just a mistaken calculation, but could be explained by the fact that true north shifts as time passes. This means that around the time the Great Pyramid was built, it could have been perfectly aligned with this cardinal direction. So the question is, how exactly did the ancient Egyptians manage to design and erect the Great Pyramid with such level of accuracy in terms of estimating its alignment with true north? I mean, at the time, they were not supposed to have a compass, which meant that they would have needed to resort to calculating the alignment using complex algorithms. But if they didn't even have the knowledge and technology to make a compass, how could they have mathematically extrapolated the Great Pyramid's near perfect alignment with the cardinal direction of true north? I mean, there are theories that have attempted to explain this mystery, but really no one can agree on a single explanation. Number 6, alignment of the pyramids with the stars of Orion's belt. According to the Orion correlation theory, which was first presented by Robert Bauval back in 1983, the placement of the 3 main pyramids in the Giza plateau is somewhat aligned with the 3 main stars of Orion's belt. This theory also alleges that the whole outline of the Great Sphinx, the pyramid complex in Giza, as well as the Nile River, reflects the location of the constellations of Leo, Orion's belt, and the Milky Way galaxy in that order. What's also interesting about this theory is its suggestion that the 3 pyramids of Giza were exactly aligned with the 3 stars of the Orion's belt in 10,500 BC. Now, if true, this would mean that these pyramids were not constructed 4,500 years ago, but were constructed more than 12,000 years ago. And finally, number 7, the mathematical precision of the 8-sided design of the Great Pyramid. While it may initially seem like the Great Pyramid of Giza has 4 sides, just like most pyramids, it is actually the only one to have been built with 8 sides and 4 slightly concave faces. Also worth mentioning is the degree of precision required in forming all 8 sides of the pyramid, with each side indented by 1 degree of a half degree, which is not an easy thing to do even in modern times. Moreover, all sides of the Great Pyramid cannot be easily seen from the ground or even from afar and are only visible from above. As for what purpose the 8-sided design of the Great Pyramid served, some say that it had the structural purpose of keeping the casing stones from loosening, while others suggest that the indentations are nothing more than the incidental consequence of erosion. Of course, there are also those who believe that multiple-sided pyramid served an astronomical purpose, where that it could be a communication device between ancient Egyptians and the extraterrestrial beings that guided them in the distant past. And so, based on the 7 reasons we have just talked about, can we conclude that there is a chance, there is a possibility that the pyramids in Giza prove that ancient Egyptians once possessed highly advanced technology? Because it is important to keep in mind that our ancestors were far more capable than we usually give them credit for. So who who really knows? But in my mind, I really do feel like we boxed this mystery in. To mainstream science, the pyramids must have been built 4,500 years ago. People must have found a way to transport these unimaginably large stones from quarries extremely far away with whatever they had at their disposal, maybe rocks or ropes. It couldn't be anything else besides that, which I feel is just so short-sighted. I mean, of course, I don't have the answers on who built these, how these things were built, why they were built, but at the same time, I know theories pop up every single year about who built the pyramids or how these pyramids were built, and the researchers seem so sure that, yeah, this is the way, then next year something new pops up. So regarding the Great Pyramids, the only thing I know for sure is that no one knows anything for sure. But let me know what you guys think about this mystery. Do you believe aliens helped build the pyramids? Do you believe an ancient civilization built the pyramids? Or people just built it through sheer will and just moved the rocks with ropes and logs? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.